This is my Harbor Freight trencher. I think I'm going to have to, because it's windy out here, you're probably having a hard time hearing me. I'm going to have to do a voiceover back in the house. But let me uncover this thing and I'll get some video of it and then I'll tell you what I'm doing with this thing. Alright, so this is my Harbor Freight trencher. I've had this thing about 5 to 6 years, and I've put hundreds of hours on this thing. I've used it for digging trenches, digging electrical lines, and as you can see, I built a log mover on the front, or it's just a thumb with a hook on the front, and I move a lot of logs with this thing too, and I have just plain old worn this thing out. What I'm showing in this clip is how worn out this thing is. You can see me rocking the boom back and forth, and those pins and bushings are just totally worn out. So now you can watch me take the boom off this machine. I'm going to speed this up and I'll just talk over it because there is no audio. But like I said, I've had this trencher 5 or 6 years and I have used it a lot, and I've beat on it pretty hard. It's a pain to move around, so it stays outside out in the woods most of the time, as you can see. And I have probably 300 to 400 hours on this machine. I use it a lot for basically, I do dig some trenches with it, but mostly I use it to help me with firewood because I heat my house with firewood, and I go through 8 to 10 cords a year. And I take a lot of trees down that are dying or have already fallen down, and this helps me as well. But it wasn't really designed to do that, and how I've worn my machine out so fast is putting a lot of pressure on the boom sideways. So I'll move the logs and I'll pull them sideways, and that just pulls the whole boom pulls those pins and twists them sideways, and that accelerates the wear on them. Even on a full-size backhoe, you're not really supposed to pull things sideways with the boom all the time. But I paid $2,800 for this machine brand new, and everything on it is really easy to work on. So I beat it. That's what I got it to do. I'm going to replace the bushings on this machine. Everything is a standard size. The biggest bushings are the 2-inch bushings. There'll be a 1/4-inch sidewall seamless tubing will work in there. So I already got one piece of the 1-inch, and I'm going to go ahead and get the 2-inch, and I'll be able to replace everything on this fairly easily. So I'm not too concerned about it. And the steel I'll be putting back in won't be the Chinese steel, so I probably never have to do this again. I've also had to do other work on this machine. I don't have a close-up in this video, but I've broken both stabilizers right off this machine, so those are both reinforced. They probably could stand to just totally be rebuilt at this point. I've also broken the bucket. I peeled it open like a sardine can, but I bent it back into shape and welded it up, put some support on it. I will probably replace the bucket at some point. Again, it works fine now, but it's going to need some work in the future. I just wanted to make this video to show people that these things do wear out pretty quick if you're hard on them. I see a lot of videos on YouTube, and they're garage queens. They're all shined up and everything, and the people don't really use them. So I wanted to show you my experience with one that I've used heavily and what you can expect in the future. The machines are definitely worth it for the price. Again, I've run it hard for around 5 years, so for $2,800, I can't complain. The thing's paid for itself many times over. I'll make another video or another few videos on this machine in the future, because I know there's going to be questions on how I made the hook on the front and how people are probably going to want to watch this thing move logs, so maybe I'll make some videos of that. And I'll probably make just an overall review of the machine, a video on that, give you my findings and impressions of the machine. Don't want to scare anybody away from one of these machines, because overall this machine's been great. But if you're going to buy one, you should know have some welding skills, mechanical skills, because they are going to break down more than, say, something that you purchased that was made in the United States, like the DR trencher. It is Chinese, this thing, and it has its problems, but it's very simple, and I've been able to fix anything on it. I could replace or fabricate anything on this machine, so it's well worth it. I'll make a review video in the future. Thanks for watching.